Listen, I didn't catch Lauren on live. I didn't catch him on live, but I got it on
That's the money.
Well, I have 2 tripods. I was thinking about bringing my second phone and just setting up.
I was ready to bring my whole equipment with my chairs. So I'm gonna set up a whole podcast with a seat.
The way
and
they
sit
trying
these
to
people
play
down.
with us?
I'll sit right here. Everybody, come have a seat with me, Jericho. I was putting 2 chairs here. It looked like a whole podcast right here. And I won't move. Right.
Yeah, he found his fucking tripod and got it for me, and I'm the one that found that fucking tripod. I fucking found that tripod. They about to get Candor going. Candor, what happened? I don't like shit like that. I don't like that shit.
Oh no, it's going down.
Do that shit.
Not yet.
All right, cool.
That's some underhanded bullshit. And then when I said Tarika She's name, he acted like he ain't just tell me that he had Tarika Street out. When he first met me, he was like, oh, I know Tarika, I know. But then just a minute ago on fucking camera, on Big Axe camera, he's like, Tarika Street? Yeah, I'm FBA. So you not? So you playing yourself to act like you somebody you not? You just sold this man that you got his fucking tripod and I gave it to you. You said it was yours. You fucking bastard. Why are you fucking out here, Byron? Are you for Diddy or against Diddy? Or you want some fucking clout? Because I'm going to give you all the fucking clout you need, Byron. Yeah, you got a good spot. Who is going down at the Diddy trial? It's like, fuck you, pay me, Byron.
Hold on, you can't be cursing in the
I don't know who that was. Sorry. This is my first time. Pause. Candy for short. I gotta think of how I'm gonna do this. Oh, we could get it from right here. The only thing is the cameraman up there on the thing is going to mess up everything.
Woman's in the history of the game. Please. How you doing today, Queen? How you feeling? Somebody special to me. Don't worry about it. Let's get this. I gotta do something to somebody out here in a bit of bad corner.
All right, you guys. So let me tell y'all. Mia finished up strong today, in my opinion. I know that there's a lot of information that's going on out there that Mia got massacred on the stand. I don't see it that way. I feel like Mia stood her ground when it came down to Brian Steele. I'm going to give y'all my full update, of course, but I'm out here right now trying to catch the content. They're saying that allegedly somebody is coming out. When they start putting the barricades up, we know somebody is getting ready to come out of the courtroom. So let's see if we can catch it live because we've been catching it live. Also, I have something. First of all, you in my live, so you forget about my live. That part.
Shout out to everybody.
You in my face. You in my live. Talking about get out your face.
Shout out to everybody. We want to get it more.
Anyway.
We did a little test on last week.
Oh, look, we got the married couple across the street right there. They done got married. Facebook Live. Jacqueline Williams. So we waiting to see what's going on. I had a brief little chop up with Lauren LaRosa. I'm going to be putting that up on the channel. I'm going to be putting that up on the TikTok. Y'all make sure y'all are following me on TikTok and Instagram. TikTok is That Girl Henny. Instagram is That Girl Henny Reviews. So I'm changing up the name. Everybody knows That Girl Henny. So yeah.
So once they come out,
so let me explain to y'all. I told y'all before we went on a break that The judge was basically sick of the repetitive questions almost as much as we were because they just kept repeating themselves over and over again. But it was a lot of stuff that went down, and we're going to get into it. Yes, y'all double tap the screen, Y'all are going to be getting this good content right now. We don't know who's coming out. I know that this is why I don't. This is why I don't like being over here trying to go live and talk to y'all about stuff that's going on, because I feel like it's so much noise and I have ADHD. So I think what I'm going to do is go put my headphones on in a minute. But anyway, let's get into some of the tea that I can spill for y'all right now. I can't give it all to y'all because my notes are in my book bag. But
What's the bag for?
At some point in time, Brian Steele began to ask for Mia's medical records, her therapy notes, and the judge was not having it. It was a lot of things that were going on in the court when we came back from lunch. They ended up having to take a break so that they could have this sidebar. And I don't know, people are saying that she's right in my shot.
Should be coming out.
She just walked right in my shot.
How you doing? How's it going in there?
Did you just take my spot?
Look, this is what I do. Look.
Now,
Yeah, like this.
can I ask her to move over because she's in my shot? Not you.
Look, they're coming out.
There goes the family. Here they come. There goes Charlucci. There goes Justin. And there goes Mama Combs.
Justin. That's Mrs. Janice to you.
All right.
All right,
She's
Miss
not your mama.
Janice.
Don't call her Mama Combs. That's Mrs. Janice to you.
Aunt Janice.
Respect. Mr. Justin.
Yeah, that's Aunt Janice right there.
Justin, I gave you this phone number today. Call me. I got a plan. I got an idea. You gotta hit me up, bro. I got something to tell
Yeah, I
you.
need you to back up with that purple smoke.
Hey, yo, Jay. Justin, what up? All right.
Charlici.
Yo, Looch.
Free Bob.
Secret Society. Looch. Oh, yeah. Wait, only one nigga came?
Quincy. Where's Quincy?
Everybody run it up. Everybody take the phone.
Quincy is where he's going, what he's doing, and minding his own.
Quincy was
like
here
he
earlier.
Yo, Looch, how was CNN? Slam dunk? All right.
I seen him going out the building from lunch.
Well, it looks like Charlucci's leaving. So if he's leaving, then that means that nobody else is here, because you know Charlucci, he walks with
If they
them.
left with the van, I don't think they would have another van for just,
Yeah, no, I think that's it, you guys. That's it, you guys. Okay, hold on. Did he come back from lunch?
I don't know where I think Quincy spun. I thought Quincy went. He spun for the afternoon lunch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he spun already. Well, even if he didn't, y'all got the shot of Mama Combs and Justin coming out. Okay, Janice Combs and Justin.
I already told y'all. It's trying
So
to
we about to
stopped at the right time
head on out.
due to poor wireless connection. I know you lying because it was just fine. I'll do the other.
And we're going to go to the spot where we go to over there by all the courthouses. All right, Uda.
Yeah, and Mama Combs, yeah.
Hey, y'all, make sure y'all double tapping that screen. Subscribe, comment, like, stay active, take the polls, because Uda be on go.
Go.
Go, Gadget. All right.
Uda,
I'm out of here.
Love you, sis.
I love
Safe,
you, so
right?
see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right? You know that, yeah.
All right, see you later. All right, this is Mama Flip. Mama Flip, say what's up to the people. I gotta get you. All right, you guys. That's Queen's Flips mom. As you can see, it's a lot of independent journalism going on out here. Uh-oh.
Medicina.
And as a white woman, do you think that y'all know what he said and what he said and what he did? I ain't gotta say nothing else.
I mean, he's focused on the case. That's what he's focused on. He ain't got time to worry about like crying and worrying about who's going to what. He's focusing on his case, what he should do.
Absolutely. And last question, I promise. And hopefully, if justice is served, innocent, guilty, we hope that the truth comes out and proper justice is served. What do you think about 50 Cent chopping down Diddy's attempt to have Donald Trump depart him if needed?
I have no comment on it. We just focus on the case. Okay. That's it. We focus on what we got to do.
Absolutely.
Right?
I respect that.
Love everybody.
Lucy, tell the people where to follow you at, bro. Look in the camera and tell them where to follow you.
It's LUCCIBRANDNYC. Love or hate. That's where you follow me at. LUCCIBRANDNYC. Gucci brand NYC.
Absolutely. Much love, Lucy.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep. You're my friend.
Absolutely. What's up, man? Hey, man. You wanna come over here? You've been in front of everybody's camera, man. What's up? So this is the African P. Diddy. That's what they call him. You guys know, or you guys have been watching.
The African P. Diddy. Y'all already know. All right. So we've got the people who are already set up. Skip any line NYC. Same old line, dudes. All right. There you go. If you're trying to get in the courtroom, this is who you're going to call. They're going to sit on the line for you. It looks like they don't just do it for, are you one of them? All right. So do you just, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Do you mind being on camera? Okay. So you said no camera? Okay, no camera. So I'm going to flip the camera around on me. All right. So, line dude. So you don't just do court cases, right? You do everything?
Concerts and comedy clubs, Broadway rush, sample sales, pretty much anything.
Okay, and what made you decide to come up with this business? Because this is a good idea.
Oh, it's not my idea.
Oh.
I'm just part of the staff.
Okay. All right, and you just stay out here all night?
I don't.
You
Some
don't?
of them. I mean, it just depends on what the customers want.
Do you guys work in shifts?
Sometimes. Depends on what the customers want.
Well, shout out to hashtag Line Dudes. Thank you for taking a minute to answer a couple of questions. I'll see you tomorrow.
I hope you're not the one that I said what I said. I just heard something and I answered it about where's Quincy.
Oh no, you're not. That wasn't me.
All right.
Oh no.
Can you video me what happened after lunch?
I don't think you want my opinion. No, I'm playing.
I just want the facts, man.
So
hold on a second. So what happened after lunch?
So after lunch, of course, Brian Steele was still cross-examining Mia. It was still more of the same, honestly, with the Me Too and the repetitive questions, to the point where the judge ended up telling him, like, look, got to stop asking all of these questions.
Well, that's only because the defense brought that up, and then the judge was all over it. But I mean, I don't even think it was necessarily he was really doing that, really. But
he was, because they would tell him to rephrase.
They accused him of basically saying the questions just to get it out there in the air.
And then it hurt when they said.
Nutcracker here, Ron's correspondent.
No, it hurt when they went too far, and she says, well, all his employees had to come back with a positive Instagram and TikTok message. That was like part of the job. So that defeated everything that they said.
Yeah, basically. I feel like the prosecution basically did a good job at undoing some of the stuff that was put out there by Brian Steele. But I mean, for me personally, I feel like Mia.
You mean in the re-examination?
The re-examine, yeah, they had her explain a lot of stuff. She even, they ended her off with, was she trying to do this to get famous? Was she getting paid? Did she want to be here? And she said she didn't want to be here. So, I mean.
Why didn't she want to be here?
She didn't want to come to testify and face him and talk about all of this stuff. Like, she didn't want to do that.
Well, here's the thing. Why wouldn't she if she was a real victim?
You can't say that because not every victim is the same.
Well,
I've never taken my rapist to court.
If she was angry at him.
Right.
It sounds like she was never really angry at him.
Nobody was though. Nobody on the stand has
Well,
ever expressed anger towards him.
I didn't see the one with Don Richards. I didn't see that testimony, but she seemed like she was rough.
It got rough because of the way the prosecution was coming at her.
Yeah.
So it got a little rough for her, but for the most part, Capricorn Clark, George Kaplan,
George
Daniel,
Kaplan seemed kind of not so he wasn't so pleased.
no, even Cassie, none of them.
Yeah, but George Kaplan didn't seem so thrilled about his job and his career.
But he did call Diddy a god amongst men. So that speaks volumes. When you call somebody a god amongst men, that means you hold them to a high standard. So I mean, it was a lot to take in, honestly, because you got to remember she was on the stand Thursday, all day Friday, almost all the day today. Like, it was a lot.
So wait, someone else has a stand
They
today?
had the immunity hearing for what's the guy? I know his last name is Garcia. In other words, first he was saying, I'm going to plead the fifth until he got the immunity document.
Yeah.
And he said, now I'll testify.
Yeah.
They do that without the jury in the courtroom. Now, the other thing is that guy Garcia. What's it, Uncle Paulie?
Uncle Paulie.
Is that Garcia?
I don't know if that's Uncle Paulie or not.
But anyway, either he witnessed or himself had to do crimes for the immunity.
Right. Yeah. But you know what? Kaplan had immunity.
Kaplan had immunity about getting drugs.
But other people had immunity as well. But see, that's the whole thing. There's people that have immunity and plea deals that are not on the case that should be, but aren't on the case because of the immunity that they receive.
There's no other defendants on the indictment, right?
No.
Yeah,
all of his co-conspirators, I think, would have immunity. I think that, and I think the co-conspirators would be the assistants because they were the ones working assistants, security. They're the ones that keep coming up over and over in people's testimonies.
It's kind
So
of weird that they don't go after any of these people like they weren't independent people, you know? Like someone tells me to buy drugs and I'm saying, no. Even
the Diddy trial.
That's what they asked. Is the human resources really a human resources department?
Well, see, the thing is, Diddy is the big fish in all of them. They really don't care about everybody else. He's the big fish. But there's a lot of layers to this case as well.
I'm going to look forward to Vashta.
Vashta, yeah.
The HR, she was really she was really pulling the strings for Diddy. In terms of keeping people, under check.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow. You're going to be here tomorrow? Then I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Y'all have a good evening.
Closing arguments tomorrow down the street.
What, Harvey Weinstein?
That's right.
His case, that was quick.
With no defense.
Wow.
When you're that innocent, you don't need a defense.
And, I'm on Instagram right now. I'm on YouTube. I do. It's thegirlhenny reviews. Reviews. Yeah. All right. See you later. All right. So tell me what you think about today's events.
Listen, yo, tired as hell, and I'm stressed because I ain't get my damn 420s. Oh, then no, I had some people give me. Some
I was about to say.
They helped me down. Some people helped me down out here. But yo, today was dragged out, bro. That's what I feel. Dragged out day. Mia all day for a few days. I understand. Heard that they was completely done with Mia after the end. They was done. I heard with me. I heard when the video played and all that. They was like, I heard the jury wasn't even writing down nothing. I don't know if they deem her as a liar or what. She did allegedly go through some things, allegedly SA or grape and stuff like that, allegedly, but she was contacting him as well. So that seems consistent pattern with a lot of these witnesses is that they say these things and these allegations about Diddy, but they seem like they end up back around him or they cool with him or something else. Or they said things in the beginning that or didn't say things in the beginning that they're saying now. So it's a lot, it's a lot. Me personally, I want the prosecution to hurry up and call a best witness. Who else? Call who y'all need to call because y'all dragging it up with custodians and all of that. We don't want to see no custodians, bro. You're proving an ex-trafficking. Show us. Let's get to the guts, the meat and potatoes. What? You got Cassie, bring us the rest of the information so we could get to it, bro. What are y'all giving us? Y'all gonna go sell some things on the jury and they just gonna probably just say, yeah, he right, he just trafficking. Now we're not trying to do that. We're trying to get the information right. You know what I'm saying? Let's
you
get
want to
that
get your
right.
girl?
Oh yeah, that's my girl, son. You know I love her. She be killing it every day. I love her. I love her. No, I love her. So nice. You know we outside in real time though, man. Everybody get the lights up. Y'all drop lights. Y'all share the video. Subscribe to On Go. We a part of On Go, right? We a part of On Go. I'm gonna start horizontally more. You know I don't be doing it. Hello, Queen. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How are you guys feeling?
I was dragged out today. A long day today.
I think today went quite quickly.
It did. It did.
So beautiful outside.
Wow. Give me a highlight of today. What do you think was a highlight?
I cannot give you any highlights. We're under a gag order for 21 days.
Thank you.
Oh.
I love you. So you know what? Why are you killing it every day when you come out here when you crushing it?
Why am I have to New York? You guys always
Why are you always crushing it though? Let me ask you that.
So that is Diddy's publicist. She said that they cannot speak about the case, that they are underneath a gag order, so she can't give a highlight or her opinion on what happened. Now, that's one perspective that Uda gave you, but I know a lot of people were sitting back like, okay, what was that video all about? It didn't really show anything. Some people were not moved by it at all. So there's going to be people that are going to be out here that are going to have a difference of opinion, that are going to tell you multiple different things. They're going to tell you, oh, she got destroyed on the stand. I don't see it as she got destroyed. Mia did not break, did not crack, did not deviate away from her story, not one time. So let me ask y'all, does that sound like somebody who got destroyed on the stand? The jurors have been out of control the whole time, though. To my understanding, the jurors have been doing things during testimony when they're not supposed to. Like Judge Arun needs to get control of the courtroom. This is what I'm being told by people who are upstairs in the courtroom. I'm also being told that this did not just happen with Mia, where they were passing notes and speaking to one another, and there's a lot of conduct that's going on up there that should not be going on up there. Now, as to whether they stopped taking notes or not, I cannot give y'all that. Okay, so C. Haynes says Mia is a liar. Tell me what she lied about. Tell me what she lied about. I'm not being funny. I'm being for real. If she's a liar, tell me what she lied about. I don't want to hear nothing else except for she just came across as a liar. She has no proof, no receipts, no nothing. Are you in the courtroom? Are you in the courtroom? When Brian Steele was grilling her and grilling her and grilling her about the Me Too, she did not crack. So then how are you going to tell me? So this is what I'm saying. So what you're doing is you just left from somebody else's video who said that she's a liar, who said that she got caught lying. But if you're going to carry their narrative, then when you get asked, what did she lie about? You should be able to tell people what she lied about. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to be so honest with you. Some people have been compromised. And I'm not going to go any further than saying that. Some people have been compromised. So narratives are being spun for clout, clicks, likes, views. And I'm telling you that right now. So be very mindful of the information that you are getting. There is a narrative being pushed out into social media. Social media is under attack, okay? Mainstream media, not so much. The mainstream media people is who, they're going to tell you. But they figure if they can get the bloggers and the content creators to switch narratives and all types of stuff, there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes that I'm just not going to speak on because I'm not going to speak against nobody. Okay. I'm not speaking against nobody who does what they do and they get it how they live. But for me, I'm going to tell you right now, Mia was on the stand. Brian Steele was very rough. Yes, he was. But Mia did not crack and she didn't deviate from her story. She didn't tell her best friend about the sexual assault. How come she didn't ask her best friend to leave this dude if he's such a monster? So, since you want to ask that question, that tells me that you're getting that from somebody who's been in the courtroom. So now with you asking me that, why didn't she tell her best friend that why didn't she tell her best friend that she was sexually assaulted? Why didn't she tell her family? Why don't we start there? So if she didn't tell her family, why would you expect her to tell her best friend? She could not speak ill. Here's the thing. It was said that when speaking to Cassie, you had to be careful because Cassie would come to you and tell you things, and then she would go back to Diddy and tell him that she told you. Nobody wants to get in trouble. I didn't say nothing about Armand. I said nothing about Armand. I said nothing about, so please do not go over there lying, saying that I said something against him. I did not say anything against Armand. But what I'm saying to you is if you're going to call her a liar and you're going to carry a narrative, at least have, when I ask, well, what did she lie about? Be able to tell me what she lied about. Okay, do you understand what that 200 grand was for? Okay, so let me ask you this. What was the 200 grand for that she walked away from, that she walked away with? Nobody that's in here that's already heard, don't say anything. I want to see if they have, what their answer is. What was the 200 grand for? Okay, so the 200 grand that Mia walked away with, the 200 grand that Mia walked away with was a negotiation that happened in mediation for her severance pay. If you are hearing that she got a settlement and she walked away, she sued him and this, that, and the third, that is not what happened. I'm going to wait till I get the transcripts. Because when I get the transcripts and I start reading the transcripts and y'all get it, understand that y'all, I don't know if that's the Thomas that I know. When y'all start reading when I start reading these transcripts, y'all are going to see that a lot of this stuff that people are saying is inaccurate. It's inaccurate. The girl walked away with 200 grand. Actually, her lawyers went for 10 mil. Instead, the case was settled out for $400,000. She walked away with 200 grand. The lawyers walked away with 200 grand. She did not sue him. It was a severance pay. It was for her severance pay. And this was something that she was told to do via the bad boy executives. So what are we talking about? The bad boy HR team told her to get her lawyers to negotiate her severance pay. That's what she did. See, Hayes, you are over here. You and you and you and you. All right. So let's have a conversation. Let's have a real conversation. Back in the early 2000s, it was frowned upon for people to speak up. Back then, people who were considered to be whistleblowers became blackballed. Their careers disappeared. And if you do not believe me, ask yourself where a lot of the prominent rappers that came out but started blowing the whistle and speaking out about secret societies and things of that nature. Where are they now? Blackballing was a thing. It is not the climate that we are in today. Okay? And I question a lot of people as to if they were around when Bad Boy first started and what that meant. Here's the thing. If he's found innocent, he's found innocent. If he's found guilty, he's found guilty. But what I could tell you is every day I'm sitting in here and I'm listening to these people. I'm listening to these witnesses and these victims get up here and start telling their stories. There were people who were telling us about things that were going on behind the scenes a long time ago, but nobody really listened to them. You had your Gene Deals out here. You had Aubrey. You had Fred. Roger Bonds has spoken out a couple of times. Mark Curry has spoken out a couple of times. It's crazy to me. And you want to know what's sad? And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Going into the cafeteria to get my delicious BLT sandwich and looking over and seeing his sons and his mom at the courthouse. I don't know about choke, no joke, honestly. They have somebody up on the stand testifying right now, but I came out the courtroom. Okay. Okay, so Brian Steele was asking Mia about different things that happened during her time while she was working for Diddy. He asked her if she took trips to Cannes, Paris, if she attended award shows and music festivals, and he started asking her about individual ones like, oh, the VMAs or the Grammys or the BET Awards. Like, he was naming some of them. And he says all of this was with the knowledge and consent of Diddy, and it was encouraged by him. And she took these trips with Cassie. She took these trips with him, but mostly she took them with Cassie. And Mia did confirm that she went on these trips with Diddy's blessing. Now, of course, it was with his blessing because Diddy was funding whatever was going on with Cassie at the time. And if he was sending Mia with her, then Mia was out there with her. All right. He went on to ask her about her time with Revolt Films. And she talked about, she helped to create a TV show that was sold to ABC, which was the TV show that she was talking about that was based on her life as Diddy's assistant in a comedic way. And the show basically focused on how she was a small town girl who ended up coming to the city and becoming an assistant for a big mogul. Okay. Um, she also worked on and co-produced a show, a movie called Dope, another one called Wallace, and another one called Undefeated. And she worked on the Bad Boy documentary. Um, and this right here is the stuff that Mia really wanted to do. Like being the assistant was the foot in the door for her. She wanted to, and she said this in the beginning of her testimony, that she wanted to work on TV and with a focus on comedy. Um, and she did say that she really enjoyed the Revolt Films position that she had. She enjoyed meeting who she met, and she called them family, like a second family to her, because that's what they became. And she, to this day, is still close with a few of them. She respected Diddy, okay, though he was thought he was a genius and that he was impactful. And she said these things about him. And honestly, if none of this stuff would have taken place, well, again, Danny, we're talking about early 2000. There wasn't that many people out here ringing the alarm on Diddy. You had Wendy Williams that was out here doing it. But look, none of us took it seriously. It's the same thing that happened with R. Kelly. People did not take it seriously. Brian still did bring up the fact that Mia had said that the highs were high and the lows were lows. And then he asked her, like, how could the highs be so high? How could the highs be so high that they overshine the lows? And that's very much possible because that's how you end up staying in these toxic relationships that all of us have been in or are in or go through. There really is no process unless you're trying to get into the main courtroom. Now, Brian Steele did also ask her about the text message that she sent saying that she was going to unalive herself. And that was around the time that she was told that Revolt Films would be no more and that she was being let go. I am so sorry, you guys. I am so starving. So Mia said when she found out that she was being let go and that Revolt Films was oh, you know what, Mondo, you're out of here. She said she felt like her whole world came to an end.
And so I work in insurance.
The thing is, I wasn't planning on being alive. I had already hidden Mando. So Mia was Diddy's personal assistant. All right, you guys, can y'all still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? What do you think? I think you're getting enough. Okay, I'm finished now. All right, I'm finished now. I had to put something on my stomach because I do not eat when I'm here. Like, I leave the house, I do not put nothing on my stomach. I be here lunchtime, I don't eat anything, and then when quarter's over, I'm starving. All right, so when he asked her about why, you know, the situation where she sent the text talking about she was gonna unalive herself, it was because she said she felt like everything was being swept away, like she was just losing everything at one time. She wanted to stay and work for the for the company. And when Brian Steele was asking her, and you still wanted to work for Diddy, she said she wanted to work for the company. Like, Mia did not really want to work with Diddy. She had already explained that her time when she was that the best times for her was when she was working at Revolt Films. Revolt Films was a good time for her. Oh my God, don't tell me I lost it. If I lost it, I would be upset. Okay. And losing that position, because that was her dream. Okay, her dream was to work in TV. She lost that dream. She was devastated, and she felt like she had nowhere to go. She felt like she had nothing left. You gotta remember, she spent all of those years with those people at Bad Boy, working for Diddy for how long? 24/7 a days. That's 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 a year. So Brian went on to ask Mia if she had knowledge of Cassie being promoted more than any other artist and be, you know, getting more money for promotion than anyone else. And Mia says she didn't have any knowledge of that. Mia was included in an email chain, okay? And he tried to show her this email chain and jog her memory. He's like, oh, if I show you this, because she was like, I don't remember that. So he was like, oh, if I show you this email, will it jog your memory? So he shows her the email, and she's like, I don't remember this. And it was like, even though she kept saying she did not remember it, he kept pressing. It was like he wanted her to remember, but she was like, I was getting so many emails. And then that's when it came out that it was an email chain. So it's possible that she didn't even see the email at all. Like, there's no proof that she saw it. There's no, you know, asking her for, or there's no reply, I should say. And one of the things that I feel like where the defense was messing up at, besides the repetitive questions over again, where he also, for me, where he lost me is when he started asking her to provide him proof. That is not her job. Her job is to get up there and testify to the truth to the best of her ability and as she remembers it. It is not her job to tell him, well, yes, I have receipts on this and I have receipts on that. He was asking her if she had any text messages or emails that showed any of the stuff that she had alleged. And I could have swore we saw text messages and emails that were going back and forth in conversations. We even had some things from Diddy where he was literally saying himself that he was going to unalive her. So either way, the more he pressed, it did not jog her memory. So that was just pointless. It got him nowhere. He did ask me about Michael B. Jordan, and Mia said that she knows of him, but she doesn't know him. Like, she's not close with him, and that she was never around when it was him and Cassie. She went on to be asked about Kim Porter. Mia said she knew Kim Porter, and she went to Kim Porter's funeral. She really liked Kim. Kim was always nice to her. And so Brian Steele asked Mia if she and Cassie ever had conversations that Cassie was jealous of Kim. And Mia said no. Like, Cassie would be bothered when he would be out with other females, but she was never jealous. And he's like, oh, you know, she was never jealous, even though she wanted to be the only one exclusive with Mr. Combs. And Mia said, well, that was what she thought it was. And then Brian Steele says, but she found out that it wasn't. Anyway. Then he went on to ask her about if Cassie was being forced to have sex with anyone. He asked her about the time that she went to the hotel that Diddy had called Mia to the hotel and asked her to bring him something. And so Cassie opened the door, but she opened it like through a track. She saw that through thank you so much, Black Sheep, Lone Wolf. She was looking through the crack to get whatever it was that Diddy asked for from Mia. And Mia was like, she wasn't looking right. So she asked her, you know, and I'm paraphrasing. So she asked her, are you okay? And she said, like, Cassie did this gesture, like don't say nothing. And she was like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. But clearly, if somebody's asking you if you're okay, that means that you don't look okay, girl. Then Brian asked her if Cassie ever told her that she was being held against her will, okay? Child, let me explain something to you. None of them told anybody that they were being held there against their will, even though they were being held there because they were psychologically at pew point. This man had their minds all screwed up and warped up and all types of things, all right, allegedly. Now, this is when Brian Steele asked for Mia's therapist notes to be permitted into the court. And immediately, as soon as he did this, they asked for a sidebar. But here's the thing. Brian had asked about these therapist notes about 4 times. He asked for them. And the question around the courtroom was, and shout out to Simone the lawyer, because, is that her name, Simone the lawyer? I believe that is her name. I follow her. But the conversation in the courtroom became, did Mia open up the door for them to ask for that when Mia was telling Brian to talk to her lawyer? Talk to her therapist. So the question then became, did she open the door for him to be able to ask for those records to be permitted into the record? But at the end of the day, the judge said no, it wasn't coming in, and that was that, all right? Mia never called law enforcement on Diddy because she had seen him get out of tickets. Like, she saw him. She had gotten a traffic ticket one time. She called Diddy. Diddy was able to get her out of it. Okay, she said there was another time that he was driving, they were speeding, and the cops pulled them over. And as soon as they found out that he was Diddy, they didn't give him a ticket. So she said she didn't call the police. Like, I wouldn't call the police even if I see that you could actually, like, get out of this. This is why Mia said that she felt like he was above the law. She never had a third party call, and she never thought about going to a shelter either, all right? So all the time she's been with Diddy, she sent him... Hold on, you guys, hold on. Oh, they stuck at the corner. Okay, so the whole time that she was with Diddy, she was sending him, like, people were asking about these messages. Like, she kept sending him these upbeat, positive messages. Thank you for the sticker. And people were like, how could she still send this to him? Even Brian Steele was asking that. But when you go back and you look over the course of her testimony, even when there were times that she was working for Diddy, she was still sending him positive messages, okay? She was still being motivational to him. She was still using the same verbiage that she was using after she had stopped working for him. So from what I saw, it was just a pattern of behavior. Mia was really checking on him, though, when people passed away, all right? Because she knew that him losing Kim, she says that really bothered him. She also said that when Andre Harrell passed away, she knew that was something that bothered him, so she checked on him. I know we know what the rumors are, but we're not here to talk about the rumors. Hey, thank you. Welcome to the bar, T2. Mia never called law enforcement on Diddy. Okay, I already said that. I already talked about that. Okay, so then they went back down to when Diddy slammed the door on her arm. Now, Brian Steele was hammering her, asking her, like, okay, well, when he slammed the door on your arm, were there people there? Were there people that witnessed it? Hey, and she said that people were there that actually witnessed what was going on, that there was people around, but she doesn't know who saw what. Brian Steele asked her, did she scream? Was she crying or any of that? And Mia was like, no, I wasn't screaming. He was like, but that had to be excruciating pain, because she said Diddy had grabbed her phone and she had went to try to get it back from him, and he had ran behind into a room, and she went to go try to get the phone and put her hand in the door, and he like slammed the door on her hand repeatedly. So he asked her, did it break a bone? She said no. She didn't go get no medical attention, but her arm was bruised up. No, she doesn't have any photographs of that. When he asked her, did you write an email to HR about it? She said, of course not. Like, and the way she was answering and saying, of course not, was like, how dare you even think that I would ever do something like that? Like, are you not listening to the story that I am telling you right now? Like, how could I ever? And that's the whole thing. How could she ever call the police? This is like asking a woman who's in a DV situation why you didn't call the police on your man. Or she called the police on her man and let him right back in the house as soon as the police let him go. It's a cycle of abuse. Then Brian brought up the tampon situation. And he was like, were there people there that witnessed this tampon situation? And she said there were people around, but she can't testify to what they saw and what they didn't see. But she said that there were people around at the house when she had the tampon situation where he was telling her to do something. She told him she needed to go to the bathroom, and he told her no, and she got blood running down her leg. Like, come on. He had asked her if she had ever stayed awake for long periods of time before. She said that she had never stayed up for 5 days before. She couldn't say, and then he asked her, well, couldn't you say to somebody like, you know, I need to stop, I need to go to sleep? And she was like, no, I couldn't tell them that I needed to go to sleep. So he asked her, well, what happened? And she said that she would get in trouble, okay? She said she was emailing HR though and telling them like, listen, I haven't been to sleep. Somebody please, I need to get some sleep. But of course, nobody was responding back to that as far as we know. Let's get into the next page of my notes because there's a lot. All right. So Mia did confirm again that she would give up all the money if it meant that she never had to be actually abused again. Brian Steele asked Mia if she had conversations with anyone about making money for testifying, and Mia was like, no. So the government was so when they went to a sidebar, the government said that she never disclosed any of her therapy records with them, so there was no need for any of that. All the questions Steele asked are to the okay, the jury was instructed to disregard all of the testimony that was given about the therapist. And Brian Steele, even after the judge said no, it couldn't go in, like you're not bringing her therapy notes into the record. Brian Steele was still trying to go for it anyway. He was still asking for them. The judge ultimately turned that down. Then she went on redirect with Smizer, and Mia was asked about her social media posts, okay? And the Ciroc, the Diddy door, the Bad Boy reunion, promoting Diddy, was all of that a part of her job? And Mia said yes, it was a part of her job. She was to manage Diddy's social media, and even though that was her social media, she still had to promote him even on her social media. She also said it was not just her, that it was other employees as well. They had to post Diddy on their social media accounts, okay? Mia was asked other employees, and when it came down to the birthday post, she was saying that other employees made similar posts as well when it came down to Diddy's birthday. Now, she's been very adamant about November 4th not being the anniversary of the day that Diddy raped her, and that it is just Diddy's birthday. All right. She had said if she didn't post those videos, she would be in trouble with Diddy. The birthday video that they posted, the defense posted, they asked her what was in the video with her, because there was a bottle there, and it was a bottle of aqua hydrate, okay? And that's a water that Diddy is partnered with. And at the end of the video, she says revolt. So even though it was a birthday video that she did in 2013, you guys, 2013 for Diddy, there was still promotion that was going on inside of that video. Okay, the aqua hydrate and the revolt shout out at the end made that promotion. Okay. She says she only posted the good things because, you know, back then social media, everybody was only posting the good things. Nobody was really posting the bad things. The video of her saying happy to him was leaked. We all know what she looked like. Well, I been knew what she looked like. I even knew her real name by the end of court that day that she testified. I had all her information. But here's the thing. Anybody that is saying her name, if the courts find out, they're going to be in trouble because we were all court ordered not to reveal her identity. So if there's anybody out there that is giving her identity up, now, Brian Steele, when he went on to try to antagonize her about being terrorized all of the time, because that's the way that Brian Steele was painting the picture. This is a man that terrorized you. This is a man that terrified you. This is a man that did this. And this is a man that did that. The government came back and had Mia explain that, you know, it wasn't always like that. And of course, who would stay if it was like that every day? But when you have those moments that happen, it does not take away from the fact that those moments happen. And it also does not take, bye 3. See you later. It doesn't take away from anything that she felt. Now, Mia doesn't remember November 4th as the anniversary of her assault because she wanted to keep that, she wanted to keep it moving. So they asked her, what does keep it moving mean? And she explained, she said, keep it moving means to keep pushing forward. It means to be motivational, be inspirational, not be emotional. And they asked her, where did she get this keep it moving thing from? And she got the keep it moving from Diddy. Diddy taught her to keep it moving. If she didn't follow Diddy's instructions, she would be punished. And those punishments would mean ridicule, being screamed at, being yelled at, having things thrown at her, right? Mia didn't disclose her actual assault. They had, the reason she didn't disclose her actual assault is because she was there. Remember she mentioned that there was a assistant that was there by the name of Kayla. Now, Kayla, when speaking about Diddy and Cassie's relationship and about how violent it was, and when she went talking about that, she ended up getting fired behind that. So when she sees that, she was like, she wasn't going to say anything. Not only that, it was told to her by Diddy that she was going to have to testify against Kayla and that she was going to have to testify against Capricorn Clark as well when Capricorn Clark was let go too. She said revolt was the last time so when she went to go work for Revolt, what was different with working with them versus working with Diddy was the fact that she was not up underneath Diddy. She got introduced to a whole new world of people where she had support. And so she loved being around those people. It was different. It was what she wanted. She also said that she could not leave the company, okay? She said that when she tried, she got a phone call from the chief of staff telling her to go back. She was scared. She did not want to end up being blackballed. She did not want to get into any type of, she didn't want to lose her credibility. She was worried about her safety. She was even worried about her life. She was fearful because she had already been abused. And she said that. She said because she had already been abused, she knew that if she didn't go back, she would be abused. So she didn't want to go through any of that stuff. So she just stayed. Also, to some of the implications that Brian Steele was making, Mia met with the government so much in order to understand her story. She was learning things that had happened to her were wrong. So at the time when she was actually sitting with the government, that's when she was also working things out through therapy. And she said it was during that time that she was understanding her story. She was understanding that it was wrong. Let me explain something to y'all about when something gets unlocked, okay? Sometimes people don't realize that they're in an abusive relationship that is so toxic because they're the ones that's in it, right? Just like a person who is in a DV situation may feel like it's not DV because they fight back. You know, they feel like because I fight, that doesn't make it that, you know, but it is that. Because it's not about the physical part so much as it is the mental part about it, right? She said she was terrified to come forward and tell on him, okay? No one told her to say anything, okay? Like the government did not tell her to say anything. The government did not coach her on anything. Mia is not being paid to testify. She is not getting any type of celebrity from testifying. She didn't even want to testify, okay? But she said the reason why she wanted to testify is because she has a niece and a goddaughter. And she said she didn't want her niece or her goddaughter to end up in this type of a situation and she could not help them out. So that is where we left off with Mia. That's where we left off with Mia. And I just feel like this. I feel like Mia came, she saw, she conquered. Now, was she a good witness? Not so much. But I don't really see where Brian Steele shined today at all, because it was very long, it was very redundant, and you know, even when he was being a little sarcastic, it felt unnecessary, it felt unwarranted. And again, these are my opinions and views and my take on what I saw today in court. But at the end of the day, there is somebody that was testifying. She was working for the company. I will get the transcript for that. Your girl is tired, okay? Brian Steele wore me out, and if Mia does not go home and take a nap, I don't know. I will for her. Listen, you guys, this is some nasty, nasty, wicked stuff that is going on. But your girl made it through. I'm about to head out. I'm about to go out. I want to take a shower. I want to lay down. But I know that I also have a live coming for you guys tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to go live, and we are going to read some of Brian Steele's cross-examination of Mia from Friday so that you guys can get an idea of what's going on. Because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation that is going on out there, and it's horrible because you guys don't know what to believe. You guys don't know what to think. And the sad part about it is it's confusing things that are not that complicated. And the only reason why it is made any type of complication, there's any type of complications, excuse me, that are had when it comes down to this is because people are too heavily involved in trying to say the next trending thing. The most popular opinion is not that right now. It is not that of pointing out where the case is being built out, pointing out where these people have been victimized at. Instead, we have shown how we are as a society when it comes down to people speaking out. And it looks like we have a lot of work to do. Okay, even with the Me Too movement and all of that, we still have a lot of work to do. Thank you, Ann. Going back, looking at other vids. Love it here. I'm trying to grow my channel like Henny. All crime, all black, all the time. Salute to you. I will arrive at the bar at 7:25. Put me in the VIP list. Okay, I got you. Which bar are you pulling up to? Because we're going to have both bars going. You know what? Oh, hey, Rochelle. Welcome to the bar. So I just feel like, you know, this is where Dr. Dawn Hughes' testimony really should have come into play. Now, if you want my honest opinion, I feel like I understand why Mia was brought in now, but I feel like Mia and Cassie, we know Cassie had to go on the stand quickly because she was due to have her baby, right? So we know she had to go on the stand, but I just feel like after Cassie should have been Mia. But I also understand why Mia didn't come in when she came in. I do feel like the government has called people and it's a little bit all over the place, because when it started out on day one, it should have been Cassie from the jump. And then you should have brought in the escorts and had them testifying back to different things. So we could have got all of that out of here, out the way. I feel like they should have brought all of the executives in, or if they weren't going to bring the executives in together as a cluster, that they could have broke it up between executive hotel workers, this, that, and the third. What I'm waiting to hear from is the people that actually worked in HR. I'm waiting to hear from people that actually worked in the finance department. I'm waiting to hear from those people and the security. We need one of the security guards to come forward and tell us something. Where is D-Rock? We know where Roger Bonds is. Roger Bonds just did an interview with Cam Capone 2 weeks ago. So I seriously doubt that Roger is going to be testifying, because I don't think that you could be doing interviews prior to you coming and testifying. Thank you so much for the super chat, Cheryl Bird. Cheryl Bird says, great work, Henny. Salute to you. Salute to you as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Just one question. So you are saying that everything is all Sean Diddy's fault? This is all masterminded by him? Just a question. Let me ask you something. Is everybody lying? Is everybody lying? Everybody cannot be lying on one person. And when I say everybody, I mean people going back years. So Aubrey O'Day is lying. Gene Deal is lying. Freddie P is lying. Chopper is lying. Like, all of these people that have come out and spoken out over the years are lying. If you want to believe that Diddy is innocent, that's on you to believe that he is innocent. I'm not here to convince you of that. But on my channel, we deal with what's going on in the courtroom and we deal with the facts. I'm not getting into any of that other stuff. You are entitled to your opinion, but what you won't do is come over here and disrespect or hackle me. That is your one-way ticket out, for real. Like, we're not going to do that. And you're not going to abuse people in the comments that do not agree with your opinion, period. That is why I have moderators. And I call them snipers, because they will snipe you out of here quicker than I can see your comment. Trust me. But at the end of the day, I really do feel like this was another L for the defense. I feel like Brian Steele did not shine. He was very dull today. It was too redundant. And I feel like Mia held her own going against Brian Steele. She didn't lie. She didn't waver. She didn't shake. She didn't break. She didn't quake. She didn't none of that, okay? And she stayed 10 toes on what she said and what she didn't say. If he said something that she didn't say, she let him know that that wasn't what she said, okay? I think the government did a better job today with their objections. Towards the end, the defense was trying to object to almost everything. I don't know, maybe they felt like they were losing, so they felt like they had to object, but it was being overruled. So I'm not sure who's going to be testifying tomorrow, and I know normally I stay on the live longer with you guys, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I am freaking tired and I want to go home. So I'm about to make tracks and go head up to the subway. I will see you guys at 7:30. I will be reading transcripts, so make sure that y'all are here and prepared to be here for a long time. So have all of your snacks and your goodies available. And if you have questions, make sure you get your questions up. And I will see y'all 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we're gonna go into Mia's testimony, her cross-examination with Brian Steele. So thank y'all for tuning in and tapping in. Thank you to all of the new people who are subscribing. Make sure you double tap that screen on the way out, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, everybody.